Okay, so ambitions. So I want to make this discussion very quick as possible because honestly, I was not going to talk about this show only because it's a new show and I'm very new to having these discussions in regards to TV shows. And I know I have to know the character's name to be able to convey what the show is about. And I'm still researching that. I even had to like rewatch the first episode over and over again. So what I decided to do was just go ahead and read to you all some information about the show from the Oprah Winfrey Network, which anyone can do, but I'm just going to go ahead and do so right now. So it says Ambitions is a multi-generational family saga centered around one woman who have recently relocated and intent on revitalizing her marriage finds herself going head to head with some of the most powerful and deceitful players in the city. Robin Givens stars as Stephanie Carlisle, the wife of Atlanta Mayor Evan Lancaster, which is played by Brian J. White, whose true loyalty is to her own family's prestigious law firm, where she is the latest in a long line of distinguished lawyers. Evan's political ambition seems to cloud his judgment as he is willing to do anything to get to the next level in his career. Essence Atkins plays the role of Amara, a lawyer in U.S. Attorney's Office who has newly arrived in Atlanta with her husband, Titus, which is played by the actor Kendrick Cross. Originally from Texas, she is quickly gaining attention from the U.S. Attorney's Office as a diligent prosecutor. Titus has been hired as in-house counsel for a big pharma company run by Hunter Purefoy, who is fighting a class action suit brought by the powerful Carlisle's family. Breely Evan plays the role of Rondell, Mayor Lancaster's sister, who runs a not quite profitable restaurant called Thelma's Place. That was a mouthful. So now that we've gotten that out the way and a better understanding of what this show is about, let's talk about the characters, because even though I've read what the show is about, for those who probably are confused like I was, because I had to watch the episode like twice just to match the names of the characters to the actors and actresses, I want to say Robin Givens, her character goes by the name of Stephanie Lancaster, who's the attorney, whose father is also an attorney as well. His name is Stephen Carlisle. That's the firm that she works for, her father's firm. She's married to the mayor of Atlanta, which is played by Brian J. White, and his name is Evan Lancaster. Now, this lady you see biting on Brian J. White's ear is played by an actress by the name of Erica Page. Erica Page can also be seen actually on TV's Bounce television show called The Last Call, but her character in this show goes by the name of Bella True, and she's basically this fashion designer who's on the up and come up. But towards the end of the episode, we see that she is also Evan Lancaster mistress, which is interesting in itself, seeing that she is Stephanie Lancaster's private fashion designer. But she's also an up and coming rising fashion designer as well, but she also just so happens to be Stephanie Lancaster's designer as well. In the background here, behind Robin Givens, we have the actress Essence Atkins. I don't know about you all, but I remember Essence Atkins from He's a Smart Guy. Doo-doo. No, I cannot sing, but that doesn't stop me anyway. I love Essence Atkins. I follow her career, and I actually named my daughter, middle name is Essence, from, of course, the actress Essence Atkins. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. And Essence Atkins plays a character by the name of, I actually have to go back to look at this, Amara Hughes. And again, the show is new, so I'm trying my best to keep up with the names. Amara Hughes is actually an assistant to the United States Attorney, and her husband is played by the actor Kendrick Cross, who name on this show is Titus Hughes. And Titus is actually working as counsel to a company, opioid type of company, pharmaceutical company rather, who is under a big lawsuit which is being how can I put it, being represented by Stephen Carlisle's firm, which again is where Stephanie Lancaster works. And she's actually on this particular case. So the show is very interesting. A lot of infidelity is going on in this show. We see that, or it is revealed that Essence Atkins' character, Amara Hughes, had some sort of affair in the past that her husband doesn't seem to be able to let go, nor does it seem like she's able to let it go due to her own insecurities. We also realize that Evan Titus Hughes, which is Amara's husband, Titus Hughes, played by Kendrick Cross, at some point in college had some relationship with Robin Givens' character, Stephanie Lancaster, which everyone's aware of, it seems. But now that Titus is back in the, how can I put it, back in Stephanie's space, Stephanie is daydreaming about being with Titus again. So it's quite interesting how all of this is playing out, and it doesn't seem like Stephanie and Evan Lancaster have any sort of attraction to each other anymore, even though they're still married. It seems like they're both pretty much, you know, thinking about other people, wanting to be with other people, and hell, Evan Lancaster already is actually acting on that emotion, versus Stephanie, who is only daydreaming at this point about doing so. But anyway, so that's definitely revealed in this. We also see there is this individual going around. Now, the scandal does not end with, you know, all the sexapades. There's actually more going on. For example, there is this big construction tycoon man by the name of Greg Peters, who apparently is buying up property in order to do some big real estate development. But Greg Peters, it seems as though he's working with Evan Lancaster, the mayor, again played by Brian J. White, to do this, to accomplish this. However, it is actually Evan Lancaster's sister, who is played by Briley Evans, by the name of, she plays a character by the name of Rondell Lancaster, the mayor's sister, who is standing in the way of Greg Peters, this big real estate tycoon man, and his real estate development. She's basically standing in the way because she doesn't want to sell her what looks to be a, I want to say a salon or some sort of place. So, and it looks like he wants to buy that place, but she does not want to sell it. So he's basically making all these threats to her as well as Evan. And Evan is like, listen, man, I'm only going to tell you one time, stay away from my sister. We'll figure out a way to make this happen, but stay away from my sister. So him saying that lets us know that Mayor Evan Lancaster is in some sort of, you know, scheme with Greg Peters, this real estate tycoon dude. You know, they're in some sort of cahoots with one another to get this development accomplished. But it's interesting because now what's standing in the way of completing the project is actually his very own sister, who Greg Peters has no issue with basically threatening. Another character that we cannot leave out is the fact that there is a daughter that Evan Lancaster and Stephanie Lancaster shares. That daughter is Carly Lancaster, played by the actress Kayla Smith. I have seen her in something else. What? I don't know. Maybe you all know, but I've seen her in something else. I'm gonna have to Google that later. But anyway, Carly Lancaster apparently is bisexual, and the way we learned that is at this big party that occurs, this big how do you put it, fundraiser or gala fundraiser, however you want to put it, for opioid crisis. And at this fundraiser there are many individuals in attendance. All the characters you see in this picture right here are in attendance, but as well as the companies that they work for, the individuals they work for. So you got Stephanie Carlisle's father and mother in attendance. You have how can I put it, you have Greg Peters, the real estate tycoon, in attendance. You have the company that Titus Hughes works for, Purefoy. You have the owner of Purefoy that's being sued, mind you, for their responsibility, or their alleged responsibility for the opioid crisis. They're in attendance. And actually what's interesting about that, as we can see, is that Purefoy, they have a daughter by the name of Lori Purefoy, played by an actress by the name of Christina Kirkman. And this daughter actually ends up cornering Evan Lancaster, Mayor Evan Lancaster, and his wife, Stephanie Lancaster's daughter, in the bathroom. And she basically makes an accusation to the daughter, Carly Lancaster, in regards to her being bisexual, and revealing that information. And before she walks out the bathroom, she literally licks the daughter's face. I mean, well, lips, really. She licks the daughter's lips. I'm sure if either parents found out that their daughters are are seeing each other or have feelings for one another, or whatever this scenario is playing out, I'm sure both sides of the family are going to flip. And not even because the daughters are, you know, lesbians, but more so because of where they stand politically. You have the Purefoy family, who is this big pharmaceutical company that is under a lawsuit by the Lancaster family or the Carlisle family, which is really both. And so with that being said, there's a situation there that, and actually apparently from what is being revealed by the father of Robin Givens in this show, Stephen Carlisle, is that this vendetta between their family and the Purefoy family has been going on for a very long time. So this show has a lot of interesting drama going on in it. You know, you got all the infidelity popping off and this stuff being revealed, people desiring to be with other people. But then you have, you know, issues outside of the infidelity, such as gentrification and corrupt politicians, and then the opioid crisis. And it's a lot going on in this film. And then there are still more characters to be introduced as you watch the trailer. I don't know how many of you seen the trailer for the episode Up and Coming, but we're talking about more characters being introduced, which means more drama to unfold. So I personally recommend this show for anybody who's a fan of, you know, television drama. I definitely recommend the show. I'm going to continue to do discussions on it, but like I said, it took me a minute to come out with one because of the fact that it's not that easy I see now to learn characters' names and then turn around and try to convey that, you know, for the first time for a discussion on the show, because you have to, you know, introduce everybody into the characters, and I feel like I wasn't even fully introduced to them. So I did have to watch the episode like twice, and then I just had to go on Wikipedia, get as much information as I can for this video. So actually, I believe Ambitious does air tonight on the Oprah Winfrey Network. Check out your local TV guide for further information. So let me know what you all think about this premiere of this show, and let me know if you plan on watching it tonight. Peace.